Hi, you're about to see a video that I filmed a little over a year ago where I talk about dinosaurs and science. I hope you enjoy. Hi, my name is Nick, and I'd like to welcome you to the first episode of What Does Nick Think? Today I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of the things that I think about on a day-to-day basis. Alright, this is what I think. You ever wonder how we know so much about the past? About how we know what stuff was like thousands and millions of years ago? How we know about water, it was on the earth, and these fish come out, and the fish give feed, and they turn into these reptile things, and the reptile things turn into dinosaurs, and the dinosaur things turn into mammals, and the mammal things turn into people, and those people walk around and kill the mammals, and then, whatever, then everybody's fucking lawyers or something. I don't know. Do you know how today we know so much about the past? About what the world was like before we were here, before our fathers were here, before people were on the earth, when dinosaurs were around, or even before that. Do you ever wonder how we know about all that stuff? You think it's really because people are digging in the earth and taking up these core samples and figuring everything out from that, like pieces of dirt are gonna tell you a bunch of stuff about how things used to be? I don't think so. What I think is happening is that we're using time machines to go back in time to figure out everything about how the earth used to be covered in water, and about glaciers and ice age, and about dinosaurs, and that kind of stuff. That's what I think. I've wondered why the Discovery Channel has so much information about dinosaurs. How did they get all this information? How do they know what they look like? How do they know what colors to make them? How do they know where they lived and what they eat? I highly doubt it's from paleontologists looking up bones and trying to figure that shit out. I highly doubt that Professor Grant is sitting in some room somewhere fucking figuring out all the colors of the dinosaurs based on bone fragments and some other shit that I don't understand. What I do understand is that someone, somewhere, somehow had to go back in time to figure out what those things look like. What colors they are, what they eat, what shit around them looks like, volcanoes, stuff like that. That shit you have to see. You can't just fucking make that shit up and put it on the TV. I think movies like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, or Back to the Future, or movies like The Time Machine, I feel like those things really happen. That's how we know so much about the past, about how things used to be, about dinosaurs and volcanoes and stuff that happened a really long time ago. I think that we're actually using these devices, which are from those movies, to travel back in time. It's some kind of real life thing that they're trying to put out there to make people think that it's not real, but really it's pretty real. It's real. You see these people in these movies, I think they're actually part of it. I think it's some kind of scam, some kind of cover-up. They're trying to cover things up, like a cover-up. Take a look at the movie Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. Keanu Reeves is in that movie. Some people say he's a Scientologist. You know what I think? I think he's a scientist. He's really using that telephone booth to go back in time to figure out stuff about the world and how it used to be. Then he's selling that information to the Discovery Channel or other mass media broadcasting places. He's probably making a ton of money that way. Him, Guy Pearce, that dude, scientist. Definitely a scientist. Have you seen him? He wears glasses. He's a scientist. It's not too hard to figure out. Marty McFly? Marty McFly, not a scientist. Emmett Brown, scientist. He's a scientist. I mean, you look at that guy, he's definitely a scientist. There's no doubt about that. Everybody looks at him and they're like, oh yeah, scientist. It's not that hard to figure out. What we can't figure out though is that how all these people are doing all this stuff, and we don't know about it. I think it's because they're covering up this information. Probably. I don't really know why they'd be trying to cover up this information. Unless they were building some kind of like army, some kind of Tyrannosaurus Rex dinosaur army with cavemen and those evil things that run along the ground that spit like that stuff in your eyes that makes you go blind. If they were doing that, maybe I can understand it, but maybe we're just not ready to know about all this stuff. Maybe that's it. Maybe day to day we just couldn't handle stuff like that. I got a cat. I don't know how this happened. Maybe they're trying to, make a Tyrannosaurus Rex army or something like that. And maybe there's some kind of crazy thing going on, something like that. Really, I have no idea. All I know is that it's pretty crazy, and someone should be watching out. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing?